What's up, people on the internet? Hope all is well and you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. Today, I have something a little bit special for you. As you already know from my previous videos, I'm a very outdoorsy type of guy. I love hiking, I love camping, all that jazz. But if you're also an outdoors type of person like me, it hits the fan. You know, it's kind of sucks to really say that, but it really does. You just have to expect the unexpected. And I've been developing this type of box for about 4 to 5 years now, just because a lot of stuff has happened. So I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get straight into this video. Let's see what's inside the box. So before we actually get inside this box is the YETI LoadOut GoBox. Now, I think this retails around $250 online. You're probably asking, dude, that's super expensive. I am not buying a box that's that expensive. Well, the reason being I want to invest in something like this is because, you know, I do a lot of these short trips, a lot of these camping trips and whatnot, and I want to invest in something that's durable. And YETI has been making some great products to do that. I wanted something that actually can survive like a snowstorm, a freaking rainstorm, and God forbid, a bear attack or something like that. I want my stuff protected, and I'm sure this will do it for those reasons and for those future adventures. So that's why I wanted something like this. And to be frank with you, just come on guys. This thing, it carried around the military look inside. It's just really dope, so why not? With that being said, let's see what's inside the box. All right, so first things first, when you buy this box, you get this small organization caddy. Now, I love this because I'm a very organization type of person. I need things in specific spots, and you know, right out of the box, they have something like this, so it's really nice. It's detachable, obviously. As an everyday carry type of person, I like to have my trinkets and quick access type of stuff within here. And right out of the box, right here on the top, is my Protech SBR George fixed blade. First things first, a fixed blade is great to have because if you're having, you know, moments when you're camping and whatnot, and you kind of have to break something and hit something against it, this whole knife is the actual knife itself. It's pretty much where I would say it's very durable to hold and everything. So if I'm actually trying to break something across, I feel confident that this will actually hold instead of say a pocket knife. While pocket knives are all strong, I feel like I would have a lot more confidence in this fixed blade itself. So that's why this lives inside this box. Now, within this box, another thing that I actually carry, which is a tool, is the Leatherman Wave Plus. This Leatherman is a multi-tool. It's something that pretty much a lot of people kind of have and already kind of use within their arsenal. I particularly never had a Leatherman before. I actually just recently purchased this just because when I'm hiking and camping, my friends usually carry their own Leathermans. I never really carried it because every ounce counts, but you know, I've seen the versatility, I've seen what the use a Leatherman can do during those times, and I said, you know, I might as well just have this just in case if I need a tool, if I'm carrying around something, or if I'm going on another trip. You never know if you need something, and I'm not going to carry around a giant toolbox of stuff. So this is what I carry within the box. But if you're someone like me who uses tools and stuff rarely and are very clumsy and is very injury prone, you get injured and you get cut, and it just kind of happens. So what I actually carry in here, I haven't used that much, is the Pete's Pirate Life first aid kit. You know, it just has a bunch of Band-Aids. There's a bunch of stuff in terms of gauzes and whatnot within here. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't used it yet just because I've cut myself enough in the past and I kind of am more cautious. But when I am into those moments where I actually nick myself or whatever, I have this for either myself or my friends to use when that time comes. So along the lines of first aid, obviously I carry also ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is obviously, as everyone knows, is just Advil, and it's just a pain reliever. If you're hiking 26 miles that I usually do with my friends here and there, you know, you definitely want to have something like this on hand because 26 miles is a long time. So I would say, with all that said, you know, something like this carrying around in your, you know, whether in your back pocket or within your car, I think it's a great investment as well as just something smart to have. So the next thing within this box itself, or this caddy, is pretty much something that everyone really always uses, and that's pretty much a light source. Now, I specifically carry the S2 Baton II, which is from Olight, and the black diamond headlamp. Now, you could probably say, Royce, I have my phone. Why do I need to have these inside this type of box? Well, for instance, your phone might be somewhere else. You know, if you're camping or something, maybe you put your phone somewhere else and you can't find it. Or your light is just, your phone's dying or whatever, you don't want to use that flashlight. So you might as well have a designated light source itself. This thing, this Olight battery, has been something I've been always using when I need a flashlight or some light source when I'm at home or something like that. This thing is just so powerful. I don't remember the last time I charged this. I think it was like 2 years ago. I use it pretty often too, and I haven't charged it like more than 5 times, I think. And if you're trying to look for a flashlight, you know, you don't have to have a big one. This is something that just kind of I can have in my everyday carry as well. So Olight, you did great. So I would say this is also goes inside my box. And like I said before, you know, I have this black diamond headlamp. Why I have 2 specific light sources within this box is because of 2 reasons. One, if your hands are tied, you can't obviously use the flashlight that I just said, and you can't use your phone. So when you work on your car, if you're going out to, you know, hike in the dark accidentally, if it gets dark, you have your hiking poles with you. This is the light source that I use specifically to kind of get me to the place where I need to be. And I guess TMI, maybe, you know, if you're going camping and you need to take a piss or something like that, you want to have something, you know, on your head instead of holding it, because it's very awkward trying to go to the bathroom if you're not having something with this on your go. So get a hand lamp. And the last thing that's within this caddy itself is something that I always have in my camera bag or a regular backpack, whatever it may be, and that's Gaffers Tape. Gaffers Tape is something that you've probably seen in multiple other videos of why it's so useful. I specifically carry this in this box because, you know, I've had moments when things puncture. I have things when, you know, like a tent has a hole, or maybe my jacket has something in my, like that's a hole too. You know what it is, tape is tape, so get some tape. Another thing about me, if you already know, is that I love coffee. As you already know from previous videos as well, I've recommended this in the past as a gift, and this is the Aeropress Go. Now, I don't want to explain this too much, but pretty much this is a very versatile way of bringing yourself and making yourself some coffee. It has a small form factor and whatnot, and you can make basically coffee on the go as long as you have some ground beans and stuff and some filters. Why I suggest this is because, and why I have this is because when I'm camping and I wake up in the morning, I do not want freaking instant coffee. That stuff is so gross. I can't do it. I just can't. So I just can't do it anymore. So when I actually go on a hike or when I'm going camping, I bring this along for the ride so I can actually get some nice coffee. So the next thing within this box is something that everyone does, and that's pretty much eating. You know, if you're like me, you sometimes don't eat in the morning, or you forget to eat and you go on a hike and you make the big mistake of not bringing any food and all you have is water. This is pretty much what I have inside this box, just in case in those moments, and that is freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food is just great because, you know, this doesn't barely expire. Literally, the expiration date is 2051. So I would say if you're gonna buy something, you know, that keep in your car for a long time, freeze-dried food is great to have, you know, as long as you have water and you have, you know, a water boiler to actually reactivate the food. I love these types of stuff because, you know, it has a lot of protein and it allows calorie count for these specific stuff. To eat this, you obviously need something like a spoon. And this is the Sea to Summit Long Spork. Now, I had the small Spork before, but my friends, when we camped and hiked, I saw them actually use this. And I was just like, wait, what the heck? You actually bought another Spork? And they're like, dude, trust me, you want to get this one instead. And after seeing them use it, and I had my Spork, literally the Spork is up to here. And once it gets inside, it's game over. It's just really frustrating to clean everything too. So, you know, to avoid the frustration of trying to search for your Spork within the actual freeze-dried food itself, you want to have a longer spoon so it's a little more ease. So, Spork within the actual thing to eat your food. So you're probably wondering, Royce, you talk about freeze-dried food, you talk about coffee, you're talking about hot water. How would you get to hot water if you're going hiking or something like that? Well, I knew you were gonna ask. This is the JetBoil water boiler. You know, for the coffee, for the freeze-dried food, you know, you need hot water to do all that stuff. And this is something that you can get in a matter of seconds, probably. Literally, small form factor. You got the lid here. And within here, I have a small propane tank. You know, right here, you can just take off the cap and it's small. It acts as like a small cup. But within here, you got your igniter. There's a button here to ignite the actual flame itself. And you can also adjust the actual amount of gas that's actually going inside. This has been great to use, and you can all attach this in a matter of seconds, or you keep like this, and you just put it on and screw it on, and then you got your whole entire water boiler. The JetBoil is the way to go, and the way things I would definitely have in my box. So before we get into the further stuff within this box, I want to tell you a quick story of why this stuff is actually in here. So the reason why this whole thing started is because my dumbass literally gets into near-death situations way too many times. I was sick one time. I literally went to a 12-mile hike, and 6 miles in, I felt very fatigued, super cold, and I felt like I couldn't go any longer. Didn't want to call 911, didn't want to get a helicopter again, zooming in and pay for that giant bill. So literally, I just waited and slept on the trail for an hour and put my shirt over my knees and while people passed by. Surprisingly enough, no one stopped to kind of say, hey, what's wrong? You know, I was really screwed. I was super cold, and by the time I got to my car, when I trucked it through, I literally was just like, I can't stay warm. I'm freezing, I'm about to die. And I didn't have food either. So that's kind of why I have freeze-dry food in here and the hot water boiler. But basically, you know, I didn't have any clothes. I didn't have anything to warm me up basically at that time. So literally, I'm learning from my mistakes, and this is what the next things are. So right off the bat, I just have an extra pair of socks. Nobody likes a wet pair of socks, but during that time, you know, I was having some sweaty ass socks, and I wish I had another pair of socks to actually, you know, change into. So this is why this exists inside my box. Next thing in here is a rain jacket. I didn't want to put like a giant thing in here in this box because why would I? But this is it's just a regular rain jacket from North Face. Super, super light and something that kind of saves me when it rains as well. So I wish I had this as well when I actually, you know, was dying of cold. I really, 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 really wish, you know, everyone had in their car just in case if it rains or if you're feeling cold. And the next one here is a thermal blanket. I feel like even if you didn't want to make a box like this, I feel like having a blanket within your car is just the most smartest thing to do. You know, if you're moving something, you know, if you want to actually, you know, go somewhere, you're having a small picnic and you're going to a park, you know, a blanket comes into the biggest clutch in the world sometimes. And like I said, if I was dying cold, I wish I had this. This is what exists in this box. And I would suggest, no matter if you have a box like this or not, get a thermal blanket. Now moving on to the top rack of this box, you know, I specifically carry within this right side pocket, in your perspective, a pair of cards. Now, obviously this isn't open, but you know, usually when I'm getting bored, I usually have an old pair within my car or within my carry itself. So, you know, a pair of cards goes a long way when you're kind of bored. So this is why this just kind of exists in the top rack, just because I don't really need it. But when the time comes when I do, I have a pair of cards. In addition, into this right side pocket, I also have a power bank. Now this power bank is just something I had way in the past. You know, it's some really crappy one. I think I really need to get a new one of these. You know, this literally exists just for emergency purposes. If I'm actually about to like have my phone die or something, other devices, or maybe my friend's phone or something. A power bank is kind of nice, especially something like this if it just exists inside a box like this. And moving on to the left side of this, or I guess in your side, the right side, is something that you don't really imagine would have, but it's a pair of matches. Now you can get a crap ton of matches on Amazon for probably like 10 bucks or 5 bucks for like a pack of 50 or something. Matches, when I had a camping trip before, we couldn't start a fire, and you know, luckily I actually had matches in my car for some reason. I don't know why. I think this was probably from like 2008 when my friends were smoking and I just kind of left it in my car during that time. No idea why. Was it 2012 or 16? Either case, I had these matches and basically saved the day in the past because, you know, it was damp and we needed a fire starter and we didn't really have the right, you know, things until someone actually came with a fire starter. So this came in the clutch to actually get us started. When you're burning sunlight and all that stuff, you know, you need to start your fire like immediately. So this is something that just lives inside the box just in case for those camping moments. Now lastly, within this box is within this top zipper, and within here is a notebook. You know, if you're out camping, you're hiking, whatever, you don't want to always use your phone. You want to get disconnected a little bit and not be so focused in the electronics. Why not just, you know, whenever you get creative, whatever's on your mind, whatever you just, to flush out all the stress, you want to write it down sometimes. That's literally what this is for. There's no reason why this is in here specifically. I haven't actually used this yet, but you know, during those times of when I want to write something, this exists in here for that reason. So, you know, some of these things obviously are very useful and some of the things are not very useful, but I've learned from experience, from my struggles and past near deaths, that each one of these things will definitely help me in the future. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. This is just something that lives inside my trunk every time I go into a short trip of hiking or camping or whatever type of adventure. So if you haven't had like a box like this, or you're not really starting something within your trunk, I do suggest you make something like this because it will definitely come in handy when the time comes. So if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And wherever you are, I hope you have a blessed day and God bless. Peace.